Ever felt like your mind is working against you? You're not alone. Critical thinking mastery is your roadmap to understanding and harnessing the power of your thought patterns. This book doesn't just explain critical thinking, it shows you how to master it, step by step. Through practical exercises and real-world applications, you'll learn to identify cognitive biases, challenge assumptions, and develop a reflective practice that transforms how you think and live. The benefits? Clearer decision-making, improved relationships, and a more purposeful life. But here's the kicker. Without these skills, you're leaving your potential on the table. In a world that's increasingly complex, the ability to think critically isn't just an advantage, it's a necessity. Ready to unlock your mind's full potential? Dive in and discover how understanding your thought patterns can be the key to personal and professional success. Your journey to a more empowered, insightful you starts here. Chapter 1, Introduction. The human mind is a marvel of complexity, capable of extraordinary feats of creativity, problem-solving, and innovation. Yet, for all its power, our minds can also be our greatest obstacle to personal growth and success. Our thoughts, often running on autopilot, can lead us astray, trap us in cycles of negativity, or blind us to opportunities for improvement. But what if you could harness the full potential of your mind, understanding and directing your thought patterns to achieve ultimate personal improvement? As you embark on this journey through critical thinking mastery, understanding thought patterns for ultimate personal improvement, you're taking the first step towards transforming your mind into your most powerful ally. This book is designed to equip you with the tools and techniques needed to unlock your full cognitive potential, enhancing your decision-making skills, emotional intelligence, and overall quality of life. From the moment you finish this first chapter, you'll begin to gain a clear understanding of your own thought patterns and biases. You'll learn how to develop basic mindfulness practices and reflective journaling habits, essential tools for increasing self-awareness and improving critical thinking. As you progress through the book and implement these techniques, you'll start to recognize the immediate impact of self-awareness on your decision-making processes. But this is just the beginning. Over time, as you continue to practice and refine these skills, you'll experience enhanced mental clarity and improved problem-solving abilities. The sustained mindfulness and self-reflection practices you'll learn will lead to long-term personal growth, increased emotional intelligence, and better interpersonal relationships. You'll find yourself navigating life's challenges with greater ease and confidence, making decisions that align with your true values and goals. Understanding thought patterns is at the core of this transformative journey. Our thought patterns, the habitual ways our minds process information and react to situations, shape our perceptions, decisions, and ultimately, our lives. By becoming aware of these patterns, we gain the power to change them, to break free from limiting beliefs and negative cycles, and to cultivate more productive and positive ways of thinking. Self-awareness plays a crucial role in this process. It's the foundation upon which all personal growth is built. Without understanding ourselves, our motivations, fears, strengths, and weaknesses, we cannot hope to improve. Self-awareness allows us to see our thought patterns clearly, to recognize when they're serving us well and when they're holding us back. It's the key that unlocks the door to intentional, meaningful change. Throughout this book, we'll explore key concepts that are essential to mastering critical thinking and understanding your thought patterns. We'll delve into mindfulness, a practice that helps you stay present and aware, allowing you to observe your thoughts without getting caught up in them. We'll examine cognitive biases, those mental shortcuts that can lead to errors in judgment, and learn how to recognize and mitigate their effects. We'll also explore the power of reflective practice, a tool for continuous learning and improvement. The journey to mastering critical thinking and understanding your thought patterns involves several important steps. First, we'll focus on observing your thought patterns, learning to watch your mind at work without judgment. Next, we'll move on to identifying biases, those unconscious prejudices that can skew our thinking. We'll then explore the importance of seeking feedback, gaining valuable outside perspectives on our thoughts and behaviors. Finally, we'll establish a practice of continuous reflection, ensuring that your growth and improvement never stagnate. These steps are carefully chosen and ordered to provide a comprehensive, logical progression in your journey of self-discovery and improvement. We start with observation because without awareness, change is impossible. Identifying biases comes next because these unconscious influences often shape our thoughts in ways we don't realize. Seeking feedback follows, as it provides crucial external input to balance our internal observations. Continuous reflection ties it all together, ensuring that the insights gained become lasting changes. Each of these steps builds upon the last, creating a solid foundation for advanced critical thinking. By following this structured approach, you'll ensure a thorough understanding and application of each concept before moving on to the next. This method allows for gradual, sustainable growth, preventing overwhelm and increasing the likelihood of long-term success. As you progress through this book, you'll find that the concepts and techniques we discuss are not mere theoretical constructs, but practical tools that you can apply in your daily life. You'll learn how to integrate mindfulness into your everyday routines, how to use reflective journaling to gain insights into your thoughts and behaviors, and how to apply critical thinking skills to real-world situations. These practices may seem challenging at first, but with consistent effort, they will become second nature. You'll find yourself automatically pausing to observe your thoughts, questioning your assumptions, and seeking out diverse perspectives. As these habits take root, you'll notice a shift in your thinking, a newfound clarity, objectivity, and depth of understanding. The journey you're about to embark on is not always easy. There will be moments of frustration as you confront long-held beliefs and ingrained thought patterns. You may struggle with consistency, finding it difficult to maintain new habits amidst the demands of daily life. There may be times when the process of self-reflection brings up uncomfortable truths or emotions. But remember, these challenges are not obstacles to your growth. They are part of the growth process itself. Each moment of difficulty is an opportunity for learning and improvement. As you face these challenges head-on, you'll develop resilience, patience, and a deeper understanding of yourself. Moreover, the rewards of this journey far outweigh any temporary discomfort. As you master the art of critical thinking and gain control over your thought patterns, you'll find yourself making better decisions, both big and small. You'll become more adaptable, better able to navigate the complexities and uncertainties of modern life. Your relationships will improve as you develop greater empathy and emotional intelligence. You'll feel more confident, more in control, and more aligned with your true self. In the chapters that follow, we'll dive deeper into each aspect of critical thinking mastery. We'll explore practical techniques for developing mindfulness and self-awareness, strategies for identifying and overcoming cognitive biases, methods for seeking and integrating feedback, and approaches to cultivating a sustained practice of reflection and growth. As we conclude this introduction, take a moment to reflect on the journey ahead. You stand at the threshold of a transformative experience, one that has the potential to reshape your thinking, your behaviors, and ultimately, your life. The path to critical thinking mastery is not a destination, but a continuous journey of growth and discovery. With each step, you'll gain new insights, develop new skills, and unlock new potentials within yourself. As we move forward, prepare to challenge your assumptions, question your habits, and push the boundaries of your thinking. The next chapter will plunge you into the world of self-awareness and mindfulness, laying the groundwork for all that is to come. Get ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery that will transform not just how you think, but how you live. Before we continue, make sure to subscribe to Grow to the Top and activate notifications to receive more self-improvement tips that will supercharge your growth. Chapter 2: Self-Awareness and Mindfulness. In the depths of your mind lies a vast landscape of thoughts, emotions, and patterns that shape your every action and decision. Yet how often do you truly explore this inner world? How well do you know the currents that guide your thoughts, the undercurrents that influence your feelings, and the hidden riptides that sometimes pull you off course? This chapter marks the beginning of your journey into self-awareness and mindfulness, the foundational pillars upon which critical thinking and personal improvement are built. Imagine standing at the edge of a clear, still lake. At first glance, you see only the surface, perhaps your own reflection. But as you focus, you begin to perceive the depths below, the fish darting to and fro, the plants swaying gently, the play of light and shadow. This is what self-awareness and mindfulness can do for your mind. They allow you to see beyond the surface of your thoughts, to understand the deeper patterns and motivations that drive you. Self-awareness is the cornerstone of personal growth and critical thinking. It's the ability to recognize and understand your own thoughts, feelings, and behaviors. Without self-awareness, we're like ships sailing without a compass, at the mercy of winds and currents we don't understand. With it, we gain the power to navigate our course intentionally, to steer towards our goals and away from hidden dangers. Mindfulness, on the other hand, is the practice of being fully present in the moment, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. It's a state of active, open attention to the present. When you're mindful, you observe your thoughts and feelings from a distance without labeling them as good or bad. You become aware of your thoughts as they pass through your mind, but you don't get caught up in them. Together, self-awareness and mindfulness form a powerful duo for understanding and improving your thought patterns. They allow you to step back from the constant chatter of your mind and observe it objectively. This objectivity is crucial for critical thinking and personal improvement. It's only when we can see our thoughts clearly that we can begin to change them. But why are self-awareness and mindfulness so important for understanding thought patterns and achieving personal improvement? The answer lies in the nature of our minds. Our brains are pattern-making machines. From the moment we're born, we're constantly creating mental models of the world, forming habits and establishing routines. These patterns help us navigate the world efficiently, but they can also trap us in unproductive or even harmful ways of thinking. Self-awareness allows us to recognize these patterns. It's like turning on a light in a dark room. Suddenly, we can see things that were always there but hidden from view. We might notice, for example, that we tend to catastrophize when faced with minor setbacks, or that we habitually deflect compliments. These insights are invaluable for personal growth. Mindfulness, meanwhile, gives us the tools to work with these patterns. By staying present and non-judgmental, we can observe our thoughts without getting caught up in them. This creates a space between stimulus and response, allowing us to choose our reactions rather than being driven by automatic patterns. Moreover, mindfulness enhances our focus and reduces stress. In our fast-paced, information-saturated world, the ability to focus is becoming increasingly rare and valuable. Mindfulness trains our attention, helping us to stay present and engaged. It also helps us manage stress by teaching us to observe our thoughts and feelings without being overwhelmed by them. Now that we understand the importance of self-awareness and mindfulness, let's explore some techniques for observing thought patterns. One of the most powerful methods is meditation. Find a quiet place where you won't be disturbed. Sit comfortably, close your eyes, and focus on your breath. As you breathe, thoughts will inevitably arise. Instead of engaging with these thoughts or trying to push them away, simply observe them. Notice how they appear, linger for a moment, and then fade away. This practice of observing thoughts without judgment is at the heart of mindfulness. Over time, you'll start to notice patterns in your thinking. You might observe that certain types of thoughts tend to cluster together, or that particular situations trigger specific thought patterns. Another technique for observing thought patterns is mindful breathing. Throughout your day, take brief pauses to focus on your breath. As you do this, notice any thoughts or feelings that arise. This practice helps you become more aware of your mental state in different situations. Body scans are another powerful tool for increasing self-awareness. Lie down or sit comfortably and slowly focus your attention on different parts of your body, starting from your toes and moving up to your head. Notice any sensations, tensions, or emotions you feel in each area. This practice helps you become more attuned to the physical manifestations of your thoughts and emotions. Reflective journaling is a crucial complement to these mindfulness practices. Set aside time each day to write about your experiences, thoughts, and feelings. Don't worry about perfect grammar or structure. The goal is to get your thoughts onto paper. As you write, you may notice patterns emerging. Perhaps certain situations consistently trigger anxiety, or specific people tend to evoke strong emotional responses. When journaling, try using prompts to guide your reflection. Questions like, "What thoughts kept recurring today?" or "How did my mood affect my decisions?" can help uncover hidden patterns. Over time, your journal becomes a valuable record of your thought patterns and personal growth. Remember, the goal of these practices is not to eliminate thoughts or achieve a perfectly calm mind. Rather, it's to become aware of your thoughts and how they influence your behavior and decisions. This awareness is the first step towards change. As you develop your mindfulness practice, you'll find opportunities to apply it in various aspects of your life. For instance, during conversations, practice being fully present. Notice your thoughts and reactions without immediately acting on them. This can lead to more thoughtful, empathetic communication. In professional settings, mindfulness can enhance your focus and decision-making. Before important meetings or tasks, take a few moments to center yourself with mindful breathing. During the task, periodically check in with yourself, noticing any stress, distractions, or reactive thoughts. Mindfulness can be particularly powerful in high-stress situations. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and take a few deep breaths. Observe your thoughts and feelings without judgment. This creates a momentary buffer, allowing you to respond more calmly and effectively. To truly benefit from these practices, consistency is key. Start with small, manageable goals. Perhaps commit to 5 minutes of meditation each morning, or to journaling for 10 minutes before bed. As these habits become established, gradually increase the duration or frequency. It's important to approach these practices with patience and self-compassion. Some days, your mind may feel particularly busy or distracted. That's perfectly normal. The act of noticing this and gently bringing your attention back to the present moment is itself a valuable exercise in mindfulness. As you embark on this journey of self-awareness and mindfulness, you may encounter some challenges. Consistency can be difficult, especially when life gets busy. To address this, try linking your practice to an existing habit. For example, meditate right after brushing your teeth in the morning, or journal while having your evening tea. You might also find it challenging to focus, especially when first starting out. This is completely normal. Our minds are used to constant stimulation, and it takes time to adjust to quieter, more introspective states. Start with short sessions and gradually increase the duration as your capacity for focus improves. If journaling feels forced or unproductive, experiment with different approaches. Try stream of consciousness writing, where you write whatever comes to mind without censoring yourself. Or use specific prompts that resonate with you. The key is to find a method that feels natural and insightful for you. Remember, the goal is not perfection. You don't need to have profound insights every time you meditate or journal. The value lies in the consistent practice, in regularly turning your attention inward and becoming more familiar with your own mind. As you continue this practice, you'll likely start noticing changes. You might find yourself reacting less automatically to situations, pausing to consider your responses more thoughtfully. You may become more aware of your emotional states and how they influence your thoughts and behaviors. You might also notice improvements in your relationships. As you become more aware of your own thoughts and feelings, you'll likely become more attuned to others' emotions as well. This increased empathy can lead to more meaningful, authentic connections. In your professional life, you may find that you're better able to focus, more resilient in the face of stress, and more creative in your problem solving. The clarity that comes from regular mindfulness practice can be a significant asset in any field. Perhaps most importantly, you'll develop a deeper understanding of yourself. You'll start to recognize your recurring thought patterns, your habitual reactions, your strengths, and your areas for growth. This self-knowledge is invaluable for personal development and critical thinking. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. You've taken the first steps on a journey of self-discovery, equipped with powerful tools for increasing your self-awareness and mindfulness. These practices form the foundation for all the work we'll do in the coming chapters. Remember, this is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when mindfulness comes easily and days when it feels impossible. There will be moments of profound insight and periods where you feel like you're not making progress. All of this is part of the process. The key is to approach this journey with curiosity and compassion. Be curious about your thoughts and feelings, always seeking to understand rather than judge. And be compassionate with yourself, recognizing that personal growth is a lifelong process with its own ebbs and flows. As you move forward, continue to practice the techniques we've discussed. Meditate regularly, even if just for a few minutes each day. Keep your journal close at hand, ready to capture your reflections. Look for opportunities to bring mindfulness into your daily life, whether it's during your commute, while eating, or in conversations with others. In the next chapter, we'll build on this foundation of self-awareness and mindfulness to explore cognitive biases. These unconscious mental shortcuts can significantly influence our thinking and decision-making, often without us realizing it. By combining your growing self-awareness with an understanding of these biases, you'll be better equipped to navigate the complexities of your own mind and make more informed, objective decisions. Prepare to uncover the hidden influences that shape your thoughts and perceptions as we delve deeper into the fascinating world of cognitive psychology. Chapter 3: Identifying Cognitive Biases. As we journey deeper into the landscape of our minds, we encounter a fascinating and sometimes perplexing phenomenon: cognitive biases. These mental shortcuts, hardwired into our brains through millennia of evolution, have helped our species survive and thrive. Yet, in our modern world, they can often lead us astray, clouding our judgment and distorting our perception of reality. Imagine you're an ancient human walking through a primeval forest. You hear a rustle in the bushes. In that split second, your brain has to make a decision. Is it a predator or just the wind? Those who assumed it was a predator and quickly fled were more likely to survive and pass on their genes, even if they were wrong most of the time. This tendency to jump to conclusions based on limited information is the foundation of many cognitive biases we still carry today. In our modern world, these same mental shortcuts that once kept us alive can now lead us to make poor decisions, form inaccurate judgments, and maintain false beliefs. They can cause us to cling to outdated ideas, make financial mistakes, misjudge people, and even fall for conspiracy theories. Understanding these biases is crucial for improving our critical thinking skills and achieving personal growth. But why is identifying cognitive biases so important for understanding thought patterns and personal improvement? The answer lies in the profound impact these biases have on every aspect of our lives. Our biases shape how we perceive the world, how we make decisions, how we interact with others, and even how we view ourselves. They're like invisible lenses through which we see reality, often distorting it without our awareness. By learning to recognize these biases, we gain the power to counteract them. We can start to see the world more clearly, make more rational decisions, and understand ourselves and others better. This awareness is a crucial step in personal growth and self-improvement. It allows us to break free from limiting beliefs and habitual thought patterns that may be holding us back. Moreover, understanding cognitive biases is essential for effective critical thinking. Critical thinking requires us to analyze information objectively, consider multiple perspectives, and make reasoned judgments. But our biases can interfere with each of these steps, leading us to favor information that confirms our existing beliefs, overlook alternative viewpoints, and jump to conclusions based on incomplete data. By becoming aware of our biases, we can consciously work to overcome them, We can pause before making judgments, actively seek out diverse perspectives, and question our own assumptions. This leads to more balanced, nuanced thinking and better decision-making. Let's dive into some of the most common and influential cognitive biases. One of the most pervasive is confirmation bias. This is our tendency to search for, interpret, favor, and recall information in a way that confirms our pre-existing beliefs. It's like having a mental filter that lets in ideas that support what we already think and screens out those that don't. For example, if you believe that a certain political party always makes bad decisions, you're likely to pay more attention to news stories that highlight their mistakes and ignore or downplay their successes. This bias can lead us to maintain false beliefs even in the face of contradictory evidence, and it can create echo chambers where we only expose ourselves to ideas we already agree with. To combat confirmation bias, make a conscious effort to seek out information that challenges your beliefs. When researching a topic, look for credible sources with different viewpoints. Practice steel-manning opposing arguments, that is, trying to present the strongest possible version of an idea you disagree with. This can help you see issues from multiple angles and arrive at more balanced conclusions. Another powerful bias is the anchoring bias. This is our tendency to rely too heavily on the first piece of information we receive when making decisions. This initial information serves as an anchor that influences all subsequent judgments. For instance, in salary negotiations, the first number mentioned often serves as an anchor, significantly influencing the final agreed-upon amount. If an employer opens with a low offer, subsequent negotiations tend to stay closer to that low number, even if it's not a fair reflection of the job's value or the employee's worth. To mitigate anchoring bias, try to gather information from multiple sources before making a decision. In negotiations, if possible, try to be the one to set the initial anchor. And always question your initial impressions. Ask yourself if you'd come to the same conclusion if you'd received the information in a different order. The availability bias is another common mental shortcut. This bias leads us to overestimate the likelihood of events with which we're familiar or that are easy to recall. For example, after hearing about a plane crash on the news, many people temporarily become more afraid of flying, even though the statistical risk hasn't changed. This bias can lead to poor risk assessment and decision-making. We might worry excessively about rare but dramatic events like terrorist attacks, while underestimating more common but less newsworthy risks like car accidents. To counter the availability bias, try to rely on statistical data rather than anecdotal evidence when assessing risks or making decisions. Be aware of how recent events or vivid stories might be influencing your perception, and make an effort to consider less obvious or less recent information as well. The sunk cost fallacy is a bias that causes us to continue investing in something simply because we've already invested resources in it, even when it's no longer rational to do so. This could be finishing a book you're not enjoying because you've already read half of it, or continuing with a degree you've realized isn't right for you because you've already spent 2 years studying. This bias can lead us to waste time, money, and energy on endeavors that aren't serving us well. To overcome it, try to evaluate each decision based on future costs and benefits, not past investments. Remember, the resources you've already spent are gone whether you continue or not. What matters is whether continuing is the best use of your resources going forward. The halo effect is a bias where our overall impression of a person influences how we feel and think about their character. Essentially, we take one positive attribute of someone and extend it to their entire personality. For example, we might assume that someone who is physically attractive is also intelligent, kind, and trustworthy, even without evidence for these traits. This bias can lead to poor judgments about people, both positive and negative. To counteract it, try to evaluate each of a person's traits independently. Remind yourself that people are complex and multifaceted, and that strengths in one area don't necessarily translate to strengths in others. The negativity bias is our tendency to give more weight to negative experiences or information than positive ones. This bias likely evolved to keep us alert to potential threats, but in modern life, it can lead to unnecessary stress and pessimism. For example, you might receive 10 compliments and 1 criticism about a presentation you gave, but find yourself fixating on the single negative comment. This bias can affect our mood, self-esteem, and decision-making, often causing us to avoid potentially beneficial experiences out of fear of negative outcomes. To combat negativity bias, practice consciously acknowledging and appreciating positive experiences. Keep a gratitude journal, or make a habit of reflecting on 3 good things that happened each day. When you receive feedback, make a deliberate effort to give equal weight to positive and negative comments. The fundamental attribution error is our tendency to attribute others' actions to their character or personality, while attributing our own actions to external circumstances. For instance, if someone cuts us off in traffic, we might assume they're a rude and aggressive person. But if we cut someone off, we're more likely to attribute it to circumstances. We were in a hurry, we didn't see them, etc. This bias can lead to unfair judgments of others and a lack of empathy. To counteract it, try to imagine possible circumstances that might explain someone's behavior before jumping to conclusions about their character. Similarly, when reflecting on your own actions, consider how they might look to an outside observer who doesn't know your internal motivations. The Dunning-Kruger effect is a cognitive bias where people with limited knowledge or expertise in a given domain overestimate their own knowledge or competence. Conversely, experts in a field often underestimate their abilities relative to others. This can lead to poor decision-making, as people who lack knowledge in an area may feel overly confident in making choices about it. To mitigate this bias, cultivate intellectual humility. Be open to the possibility that you might be wrong or that there might be aspects of a situation you don't fully understand. Seek out expert opinions and be willing to defer to greater expertise when appropriate. Now that we've explored some common cognitive biases, let's discuss how emotions influence our thought patterns. Our emotional state can significantly impact our perception, judgment, and decision-making. When we're happy, we tend to be more optimistic and may underestimate risks. When we're anxious or fearful, we might overestimate threats and make overly cautious decisions. For example, if you're in a good mood when considering a job offer, you might focus more on the positives of the opportunity and downplay potential drawbacks. Conversely, if you're feeling stressed or insecure, you might fixate on the risks and overlook the potential benefits. Recognizing the influence of emotions on our thoughts is crucial for balanced decision-making. One strategy is to practice emotional awareness. Regularly check in with yourself to identify what you're feeling. When you're about to make an important decision, ask yourself how your current emotional state might be influencing your thinking. Another useful technique is to delay important decisions when you're in a heightened emotional state. If possible, give yourself time to calm down and approach the situation with a clearer mind. For decisions that can't be delayed, try to mentally step back and consider how you might view the situation if you were in a different emotional state. It's also helpful to understand that emotions aren't inherently bad or good when it comes to decision-making. They can provide valuable, intuitive information. The key is to find a balance between emotional input and rational analysis. Now, let's turn our attention to some practical exercises for identifying and mitigating cognitive biases in your own thinking. One effective exercise is keeping a bias identification log. Throughout your day, whenever you make a decision or form an opinion, take a moment to reflect on it. Ask yourself, what information did I use to reach this conclusion? Did I consider alternative viewpoints? Is there a possibility that one of the biases we've discussed might be influencing my thinking? Write down your observations. Over time, you'll likely start to notice patterns in your thinking and decision-making processes. This awareness is the first step towards more balanced, objective thinking. Another useful exercise is the perspective shift. When you find yourself holding a strong opinion on something, challenge yourself to argue the opposite viewpoint. This doesn't mean you have to change your mind, but the exercise can help you see issues from multiple angles and identify potential blind spots in your thinking. Emotion tracking is another valuable tool. Throughout the day, periodically note your emotional state and any decisions or judgments you're making. Look for correlations between your emotions and your thought patterns. Are you more likely to make optimistic predictions when you're in a good mood? Do you tend to be more critical of others when you're stressed? Understanding these patterns can help you adjust for emotional influences on your thinking. Practice looking at problems from multiple perspectives to counteract biases. When faced with a decision or problem, consciously generate at least 3 different ways of looking at it. This can help break you out of rigid thinking patterns and lead to more creative, balanced solutions. As you work on identifying and mitigating cognitive biases, be prepared for some challenges. It's not always easy to recognize our own biases. By their very nature, they operate below our conscious awareness. You might find yourself overlooking biases or rationalizing them away. This is normal and part of the learning process. To address this, regularly review your bias log and seek feedback from others. Sometimes others can spot our biases more easily than we can ourselves. Be open to constructive criticism and view it as an opportunity for growth. You might also find that even when you recognize a bias, it's difficult to overcome. Our biases are deeply ingrained and won't disappear overnight. Be patient with yourself and celebrate small victories. Every time you catch yourself in a biased thought pattern and make an effort to reconsider, you're strengthening your critical thinking skills. Another challenge you might face is emotional resistance to acknowledging biases, especially if doing so challenges long-held beliefs or self-perceptions. Remember, having biases doesn't make you a bad thinker. It makes you human. The goal is not to eliminate biases entirely, which is likely impossible, but to become aware of them and learn to compensate for them. As you continue to work on identifying cognitive biases, you'll likely notice significant changes in your thinking patterns. You may find yourself naturally considering multiple perspectives before forming opinions. You might become more cautious about jumping to conclusions or making snap judgments. You may also notice improvements in your decision-making. By being aware of biases like the sunk cost fallacy or anchoring bias, you can make more rational choices about how to invest your time and resources. Your relationships might improve as well. Understanding biases like the fundamental attribution error can lead to greater empathy and more charitable interpretations of others' actions. You may find yourself becoming a better listener, more open to different viewpoints, and more skilled at resolving conflicts. In your professional life, awareness of cognitive biases can be a significant asset. It can help you make more objective decisions, evaluate risks more accurately, and avoid common pitfalls in reasoning. This can lead to better strategic thinking, more effective problem solving, and improved leadership skills. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. You've gained insight into the hidden forces that shape your thoughts and perceptions. You've learned about common cognitive biases and how they can influence your decision-making. And you've acquired practical tools for identifying and mitigating these biases in your own thinking. Remember, the goal is not to achieve perfect bias-free thinking. That's likely impossible for any human. Instead, the aim is to become more aware of your biases, to catch yourself when you're falling into biased thinking patterns, and to deliberately engage in more balanced, nuanced reasoning. As you move forward, continue to practice the exercises we've discussed. Keep your bias identification log, engage in perspective-shifting exercises, and maintain awareness of your emotional states. Look for opportunities to apply your understanding of cognitive biases in your daily life, whether it's in personal decisions, professional contexts, or interpersonal relationships. In the next chapter, we'll build on this foundation to explore the crucial skill of seeking feedback and challenging assumptions. You'll learn how to actively seek out diverse perspectives, how to constructively challenge your own and others' assumptions, and how to use feedback as a powerful tool for personal growth and improved critical thinking. Get ready to push the boundaries of your comfort zone and open yourself up to new ways of thinking and understanding the world around you. Chapter 4: Seeking Feedback and Challenging Assumptions. In the intricate tapestry of our minds, thoughts and beliefs are woven together, forming patterns that shape our perception of the world. Some of these patterns are vibrant and adaptive, while others may be dull or even harmful, limiting our growth and understanding. As we continue our journey towards critical thinking mastery, we now turn our attention to two powerful tools that can help us refine and expand these mental patterns: seeking feedback and challenging assumptions. Imagine you're an artist working on a masterpiece. You've been so focused on the details, your nose practically touching the canvas, that you've lost sight of the overall composition. In this moment, stepping back to gain a new perspective is invaluable. But even more powerful is inviting others to view your work, gathering their impressions and insights. This is the essence of seeking feedback. It provides us with new vantage points from which to view our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. Similarly, our assumptions are like the foundation of a house. They support everything we build upon them, but if they're faulty, the entire structure is at risk. Challenging these assumptions is akin to inspecting the foundation, ensuring it's solid and capable of supporting our continued growth and understanding. But why are seeking feedback and challenging assumptions so crucial for understanding thought patterns and achieving personal improvement? The answer lies in the limitations of our own perspective. No matter how intelligent or self-aware we are, we all have blind spots, areas where our vision is obscured by our own experiences, biases, and assumptions. Feedback from others can illuminate these blind spots, showing us aspects of ourselves and our thinking that we might never have noticed on our own. It can challenge our preconceptions, introduce new ideas, and help us see situations from different angles. This expanded perspective is invaluable for personal growth and improved critical thinking. Moreover, actively seeking feedback demonstrates a growth mindset, a belief that we can improve and develop our abilities over time. This mindset itself is a powerful driver of personal improvement, as it keeps us open to new information and willing to learn from our mistakes. Challenging our assumptions, on the other hand, is a fundamental aspect of critical thinking. Our assumptions often operate beneath the surface of our conscious thought, influencing our decisions and beliefs without our awareness. By bringing these assumptions into the light and examining them critically, we can ensure that our thinking is built on a solid foundation. This process of questioning our assumptions can lead to profound shifts in our understanding of ourselves and the world around us. It can help us break free from limiting beliefs, see new possibilities, and approach problems with greater creativity and flexibility. Let's start by exploring the art of seeking and accepting constructive feedback. Constructive feedback is information-specific, issue-focused, and based on observations. It's designed to help the recipient improve rather than to simply criticize. When seeking feedback, it's important to create an environment where others feel comfortable providing honest, constructive input. One effective strategy is to ask specific questions. Instead of a general, "How did I do?" try asking, "What do you think I could improve in my presentation style?" Or, "How could I have handled that customer interaction more effectively?" Specific questions are more likely to elicit useful, actionable feedback. It's also crucial to listen actively when receiving feedback. Resist the urge to become defensive or to immediately explain or justify your actions. Instead, focus on understanding the other person's perspective. Ask clarifying questions if needed, and thank the person for their input, even if you don't agree with everything they've said. Remember, the goal of seeking feedback is not to receive praise or validation, but to gain new insights and perspectives that can help you grow. Be open to criticism and view it as an opportunity for improvement rather than a personal attack. However, it's important to differentiate between constructive and destructive criticism. Constructive criticism is specific, focused on behaviors rather than personal attributes, and offers suggestions for improvement. Destructive criticism, on the other hand, is often vague, personally directed, and offers no path for improvement. For example, constructive feedback might sound like, "I notice that you sometimes interrupt others during meetings. This can make it difficult for everyone to share their ideas. Perhaps you could try writing down your thoughts and waiting for a pause before speaking." Destructive criticism might be more like, "You're so rude in meetings. You need to learn some manners." When you receive feedback, take time to reflect on it before deciding how to act. Not all feedback will be equally valuable or applicable. Consider the source of the feedback, how it aligns with your own observations and goals, and whether acting on it would truly lead to improvement. Now, let's turn our attention to the crucial skill of questioning assumptions. Our assumptions are the unexamined beliefs we hold about the world, ourselves, and others. They're often formed early in life, shaped by our experiences, culture, and environment. While assumptions can be useful shortcuts for navigating daily life, unexamined assumptions can limit our thinking and lead to poor decisions. The first step in challenging assumptions is to become aware of them. This requires a deliberate effort to examine our thought processes. When you find yourself coming to a conclusion or making a decision, pause and ask yourself, what assumptions am I making here? What am I taking for granted? For example, you might assume that a colleague who rarely speaks up in meetings has nothing valuable to contribute. But is this assumption based on evidence, or is it a conclusion you've jumped to based on limited information? Challenging this assumption might lead you to find ways to create a more inclusive environment where all team members feel comfortable sharing their ideas. Once you've identified an assumption, the next step is to question it. Ask yourself, is this assumption based on facts or evidence? Could there be other explanations or perspectives I haven't considered? What would change if this assumption weren't true? It can be helpful to use a technique called assumption reversal. Take your assumption and imagine the opposite were true. For instance, if you assume that taking risks always leads to failure, reverse it to taking risks always leads to success. While neither extreme is likely to be true, this exercise can help you see situations from new angles and consider a wider range of possibilities. Another powerful technique for challenging assumptions is to seek out diverse perspectives. Engage with people who have different backgrounds, experiences, and viewpoints from your own. Read books and articles that challenge your existing beliefs. The more you expose yourself to diverse ideas, the more you'll naturally start to question your own assumptions. Remember, the goal of challenging assumptions is not to discard all your beliefs, but to ensure that the beliefs you hold are well-founded and serve you well. Some assumptions will stand up to scrutiny and prove to be valid and useful. Others may need to be modified or discarded. The key is to approach your beliefs with curiosity and openness, always willing to learn and grow. As you work on challenging your assumptions, you'll likely encounter some resistance. This is normal. Our assumptions often feel like fundamental truths, and questioning them can be uncomfortable. You might experience cognitive dissonance, the mental discomfort that occurs when new information conflicts with existing beliefs. Embrace this discomfort as a sign of growth. Remember that challenging your assumptions doesn't mean you have to change your mind about everything. It simply means you're willing to examine your beliefs critically and adjust them if necessary. Now, let's explore some practical exercises to help you develop your skills in seeking feedback and challenging assumptions. One effective exercise for seeking feedback is the 360-degree feedback approach. Identify 5 to 10 people from different areas of your life, perhaps colleagues, friends, family members, and mentors. Ask each of them to provide honest feedback on your strengths and areas for improvement. Look for patterns in their responses. Are there consistent themes, areas where people's perceptions differ significantly from your own self-perception? This exercise can provide a well-rounded view of how others perceive you and highlight areas for growth you might not have considered. Another useful exercise is the feedback journal. After each significant interaction or project, take a few minutes to write down your own assessment of how it went. Then, Actively seek feedback from others involved. Compare their feedback with your own assessment. Note any discrepancies or surprises. Over time, this practice can help you develop a more accurate self-perception and identify blind spots in your self-assessment. For challenging assumptions, try the 5 whys technique. When you find yourself holding a strong belief or making a decision, ask yourself why 5 times in succession. Each answer becomes the basis for the next why question. This technique can help you dig deeper into your underlying assumptions and motivations. For example, 1. Why do I believe I'm not good at public speaking? Because I get nervous when speaking in front of groups. 2. Why do I get nervous when speaking in front of groups? Because I'm afraid of making mistakes or looking foolish. 3. Why am I afraid of making mistakes or looking foolish? Because I assume the audience will judge me harshly. 4. Why do I assume the audience will judge me harshly? Because I tend to judge myself harshly. 5. Why do I tend to judge myself harshly? Because I have an underlying belief that I need to be perfect to be valued. This exercise often reveals deep-seated assumptions that we weren't initially aware of, providing opportunities for growth and change. Another powerful exercise is the assumption audit. Make a list of your core beliefs about yourself, others, and the world. For each belief, ask yourself, what evidence do I have for this belief? What evidence might contradict it? Where did this belief come from? How does holding this belief serve me? How might it limit me? This systematic examination of your beliefs can lead to profound insights and personal growth. As you engage in these exercises, you may encounter some challenges. One common difficulty is emotional resistance to feedback or to challenging long-held assumptions. It's natural to feel defensive or uncomfortable when our beliefs are questioned or when we receive criticism. To address this, practice emotional regulation techniques. Take deep breaths. Remind yourself that feedback and self-examination are opportunities for growth, not attacks on your worth as a person. It can also be helpful to separate the emotional reaction from the intellectual response. Acknowledge your feelings, but don't let them prevent you from considering the feedback or new perspective objectively. Another challenge you might face is the tendency to seek only confirming feedback. That is, feedback that aligns with your existing beliefs about yourself. This is a form of confirmation bias. To counteract this, make a conscious effort to seek out diverse perspectives, especially from people who think differently from you. You might also struggle with knowing how to act on feedback or what to do when you've identified an assumption that needs challenging. Remember that change is a process. Start with small, manageable steps. If you've received feedback that you need to improve your listening skills, for instance, you might start by practicing active listening in one conversation each day, gradually increasing as you become more comfortable. When you've identified an assumption that needs challenging, start by simply holding it more lightly. Instead of, "This is true," try thinking, "This might be true." This small shift can open up new possibilities and make it easier to consider alternative perspectives. As you continue to practice seeking feedback and challenging assumptions, you'll likely notice significant changes in your thinking and behavior. You may find yourself becoming more open-minded, better able to consider multiple perspectives before making decisions. Your self-awareness will likely increase, as will your ability to navigate complex interpersonal situations. You might also notice improvements in your relationships. By actively seeking feedback and being open to others' perspectives, you demonstrate respect for their views and a willingness to grow. This can lead to deeper, more authentic connections with others. In your professional life, these skills can be invaluable. The ability to seek and act on constructive feedback is crucial for career growth and leadership development. By challenging assumptions, you can become a more innovative problem solver and a more effective strategist. Remember, the goal of seeking feedback and challenging assumptions is not to constantly doubt yourself or to discard all your beliefs. Rather, it's to ensure that your thoughts, beliefs, and actions are serving you well and aligned with your goals and values. It's about developing a flexible, growth-oriented mindset that allows you to adapt and thrive in an ever-changing world. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on what you've learned. You've gained insights into the importance of seeking diverse perspectives and questioning your own beliefs. You've learned strategies for soliciting and accepting constructive feedback and techniques for identifying and challenging your assumptions. And you've acquired practical exercises to help you develop these crucial skills. Moving forward, make a commitment to regularly seek feedback and examine your assumptions. Look for opportunities in your daily life to practice these skills. When you're about to make a decision, pause and ask yourself what assumptions you're making. After completing a project or having an important interaction, seek feedback from others involved. Remember that this is an ongoing process. Our assumptions and blind spots don't disappear overnight, and there's always more to learn from others' perspectives. Approach this journey with patience, curiosity, and openness. In the next chapter, we'll explore how to synthesize all you've learned so far into a consistent practice of reflection and growth. You'll discover techniques for integrating self-awareness, bias recognition, feedback seeking, and assumption challenging into your daily life. Get ready to transform your newfound knowledge and skills into lasting habits that will continue to serve you long after you've finished this book. Chapter 5. Developing a reflective practice. As we reach this pivotal point in our journey towards critical thinking mastery, we find ourselves standing at the threshold of a transformative practice, one that has the power to weave together all the threads we've explored so far. This practice is reflection, a deceptively simple yet profoundly powerful tool for personal growth and cognitive enhancement. Imagine your mind as a vast, intricate garden. The skills we've discussed in previous chapters, self-awareness, mindfulness, recognizing cognitive biases, seeking feedback, and challenging assumptions, are like the various tools a gardener might use: spades for digging, shears for pruning, water for nourishing. Reflection is the act of tending to this garden regularly, using all these tools in concert to cultivate a thriving, harmonious mental landscape. But why is developing a reflective practice so crucial for understanding thought patterns and achieving personal improvement? The answer lies in the nature of learning and growth itself. True learning isn't just about acquiring information, it's about integrating that information into our existing knowledge structures, applying it to our lives, and using it to reshape our understanding of the world and ourselves. Reflection is the bridge that connects knowledge to wisdom, theory to practice. It's through reflection that we make sense of our experiences, extract meaningful lessons from our successes and failures, and chart our course for future growth. Without reflection, our experiences and knowledge remain disconnected, like puzzle pieces scattered across a table. Reflection is the process of fitting these pieces together to create a coherent picture. Moreover, in our fast-paced, information-saturated world, taking the time to pause and reflect has become more important than ever. We're constantly bombarded with new information, new tasks, new challenges. Without regular reflection, it's all too easy to get caught up in the whirlwind of daily life, losing sight of our larger goals and the progress we're making towards them. Reflection allows us to step back from the immediacy of our experiences and view them from a broader perspective. It helps us identify patterns in our thoughts and behaviors, recognize our growth over time, and make intentional choices about how we want to move forward. In essence, reflection transforms living from a series of reactive moments into a thoughtful, purposeful journey. But what exactly does a reflective practice look like? At its core, reflection is simply the act of thinking deeply about our experiences, thoughts, and actions. However, to harness its full power, we need to approach reflection in a structured, consistent way. One effective approach is to establish a habit of daily reflection. This doesn't need to be a lengthy process. Even 10 to 15 minutes of focused reflection each day can yield significant benefits. Find a quiet time and place where you won't be interrupted. You might choose to reflect at the end of each day, reviewing your experiences and learning, or at the beginning of the day, setting your intentions and focusing your mind. During your reflection time, you might ask yourself questions like, 1. What were the most significant events or interactions of my day? 2. How did I respond to challenges I faced? 3. What patterns did I notice in my thoughts or behaviors? 4. How did I apply the critical thinking skills I'm developing? 5. What did I learn today, and how can I apply this learning going forward? Writing down your reflections can be particularly powerful. The act of putting your thoughts into words helps to clarify them and often leads to new insights. You might keep a dedicated reflection journal or use a note-taking app on your phone or computer. Another powerful reflective technique is the weekly review. Set aside a longer period, perhaps 30 minutes to an hour, at the end of each week to review your experiences, progress, and learning on a broader scale. During this time, you might 1. Review your daily reflections from the past week, looking for patterns or themes. 2. Assess your progress towards your personal growth goals. 3. Identify areas where you've successfully applied new skills or insights. 4. Recognize challenges or obstacles you've faced and brainstorm strategies for overcoming them. 5. Set intentions and goals for the coming week. This weekly practice helps to consolidate your learning and ensures that you're consistently moving in the direction of your larger goals. Reflection doesn't always have to be a solitary practice. Engaging in reflective conversations with trusted friends, mentors, or colleagues can provide valuable new perspectives and insights. These conversations might involve discussing challenges you're facing, sharing your growth experiences, or exploring complex ideas together. As you develop your reflective practice, it's important to integrate the specific skills we've discussed in previous chapters. For instance, during your reflection time, you might 1. Practice mindfulness, observing your thoughts and feelings without judgment. 2. Check in with your body, noticing any physical sensations or tensions that might provide clues about your emotional state. 3. Consider how cognitive biases might have influenced your thoughts or decisions during the day. 4. Reflect on feedback you've received and how you can apply it. 5. Identify assumptions you made and consider how you might challenge or verify them. By consciously incorporating these elements into your reflective practice, you reinforce your learning and create opportunities to apply your growing skills in real-life situations. One powerful technique for deepening your reflective practice is the what, so what, now what framework. This three-step process helps you move from observation to analysis to action. 1. What? Describe the experience, situation, or observation objectively. What happened? What did you notice? 2. So what? Analyze the significance of the experience. Why does it matter? What did you learn? How does it relate to your goals or previous experiences? Now what? Plan for future action based on your analysis. How will you apply what you've learned? What will you do differently next time? This framework helps ensure that your reflections lead to concrete insights and actions rather than remaining abstract thoughts. Another valuable reflective technique is perspective taking. During your reflection time, try to view your experiences from different perspectives. How might another person have perceived the situation? If you were advising a friend facing a similar challenge, what would you say? How might you view this experience 5 years from now? This practice can help broaden your understanding and reveal new insights. As you develop your reflective practice, you may encounter some challenges. One common difficulty is maintaining consistency. In our busy lives, it's easy to let reflection time slip away or to convince ourselves we're too tired or too busy to engage in deep thinking. To address this, try linking your reflection practice to an existing habit. For example, you might reflect while drinking your morning coffee, or make reflection the last thing you do before going to bed each night. Setting a specific time and place for reflection can also help make it a consistent habit. Another challenge is the tendency to engage in surface-level reflection without diving deep into meaningful insights. You might find yourself simply recounting the events of your day without exploring their significance or extracting valuable lessons. To overcome this, use prompts or questions to guide your reflection. The what, so what, now what framework can be helpful here. You might also create a list of thought-provoking questions to cycle through in your reflections, such as 1. What surprised me today? When did I feel most energized, most drained? 3. What's one thing I could have done better? 4. What's one thing I'm proud of? How did my actions align with my values? These types of questions can help steer your reflections towards meaningful insights and growth opportunities. Sometimes you might find that your reflections tend to focus on negative experiences or self-criticism. While it's important to learn from our mistakes and challenges, excessive negativity can be counterproductive. To maintain a balanced perspective, make a conscious effort to reflect on positive experiences and successes as well as challenges. What went well today? What strengths did you demonstrate? What are you grateful for? Cultivating a practice of gratitude as part of your reflections can help maintain a positive, growth-oriented mindset. As you continue to develop your reflective practice, you'll likely start to notice significant changes in your thinking and behavior. You may find that you become more self-aware, better able to recognize your thoughts and emotions as they arise. This increased self-awareness can lead to more thoughtful responses to situations rather than knee-jerk reactions. You might also notice that you become more intentional in your actions. Regular reflection helps clarify your values and goals, making it easier to align your daily behaviors with your larger aspirations. You may find yourself making more conscious choices about how you spend your time and energy. Your problem-solving skills may improve as well. Reflection allows you to analyze past experiences and extract lessons that can be applied to future challenges. Over time, you'll build a rich repository of insights and strategies to draw upon when facing new situations. Moreover, you may notice an increase in your overall sense of well-being and satisfaction. Reflection helps us make meaning out of our experiences, recognize our growth and progress, and maintain perspective on life's ups and downs. This can lead to greater resilience in the face of challenges and a deeper appreciation for life's positive moments. In your professional life, a strong reflective practice can be a significant asset. It can enhance your decision-making skills, improve your ability to learn from experiences, and increase your emotional intelligence. These qualities are highly valued in most professional contexts and can contribute to career advancement and leadership opportunities. As your reflective practice deepens, you may find that it begins to transform your relationship with time. Instead of feeling constantly rushed by the demands of the present moment, you may develop a more expansive sense of time. Regular reflection allows you to connect your past experiences with your present actions and future aspirations, creating a sense of continuity and purpose in your life. This expanded time perspective can be particularly valuable when facing setbacks or challenges. In the heat of the moment, a problem might seem overwhelming, but through reflection, you can place it in the larger context of your life journey. You can recall past challenges you've overcome, recognize the learning opportunity in the present difficulty, and envision how you might grow from this experience in the future. Another powerful aspect of a mature reflective practice is the ability to meta-reflect, that is, to reflect on your reflections. As you review your journal entries or contemplate your thought patterns over time, you may start to notice higher-level patterns. Perhaps you tend to be overly critical of yourself in certain areas, or you consistently overlook certain types of opportunities. This meta-reflection can lead to profound insights about your thought patterns and behaviors, opening up new avenues for growth and change. As your reflective practice becomes more ingrained, you may find that it begins to extend beyond your dedicated reflection times. You might catch yourself engaging in mini-reflections throughout your day, a moment of mindfulness here, a quick questioning of assumptions there. This integration of reflective thinking into your daily life is a sign of true mastery and can lead to more consistent, intentional living. To further enrich your reflective practice, consider incorporating creative elements. Some people find that drawing, painting, or other forms of visual art help them express and explore their thoughts in new ways. Others might use music, dance, or movement as a form of embodied reflection. Writing poetry or fiction can be another powerful way to explore your experiences and emotions from different perspectives. Remember, there's no one-size-fits-all approach to reflection. The key is to find methods that resonate with you and that you can sustain over time. Don't be afraid to experiment with different techniques and adjust your practice as needed. As we conclude this chapter, take a moment to reflect on your journey so far. You've learned about the importance of self-awareness and mindfulness, explored the impact of cognitive biases, practiced seeking feedback and challenging assumptions, and now you've discovered the transformative power of consistent reflection. Consider how you might integrate all of these elements into your own reflective practice. Perhaps you'll start with a simple daily journal, gradually incorporating more structured reflection techniques over time. Or maybe you'll dive in with a comprehensive daily and weekly reflection routine. Whatever approach you choose, remember that the goal is not perfection, but progress. Commit to making reflection a non-negotiable part of your routine. Even on your busiest days, try to carve out at least a few minutes for reflection. Over time, you may find that these moments of pause and contemplation become the most valuable part of your day, providing clarity, insight, and a sense of grounding amidst life's chaos. As you move forward, continue to approach your reflective practice with curiosity and openness. Be willing to explore uncomfortable truths about yourself, but also to celebrate your growth and achievements. Use your reflections as a springboard for action, consistently translating your insights into concrete steps towards your goals. Remember that developing a strong reflective practice is a journey, not a destination. There will always be new depths to explore, new insights to uncover, new ways to grow. Embrace this ongoing process of discovery and transformation. In the final chapter, we'll explore how to synthesize all you've learned throughout this book into a cohesive approach to critical thinking and personal growth. We'll discuss strategies for maintaining your practice over the long term, overcoming common obstacles, and continuing to evolve your skills. Prepare to take the final steps towards becoming a master of critical thinking, equipped with the tools to navigate life's complexities with wisdom, intention, and clarity. Chapter 6, Conclusion: The Transformative Power of Critical Thinking Mastery. As we reach the culmination of our journey through critical thinking mastery, understanding thought patterns for ultimate personal improvement, it's time to step back and appreciate the profound transformation you've undergone. From the first pages where we explored self-awareness and mindfulness, through the intricacies of cognitive biases, the challenges of seeking feedback and questioning assumptions, to the development of a robust reflective practice, you've equipped yourself with a formidable toolkit for navigating the complexities of your own mind and the world around you. The skills and insights you've gained throughout this book are not mere academic exercises or theoretical concepts. They are practical, powerful tools that have the potential to revolutionize every aspect of your life. Let's take a moment to fully appreciate the scope of what you've accomplished and the doors that have now opened before you. First and foremost, you've developed a level of self-awareness that sets you apart from the majority. In a world where many people sleepwalk through life, reacting unconsciously to their environment and driven by unexamined beliefs and emotions, you now possess the ability to observe your own thoughts and feelings with clarity and objectivity. This self-awareness is the foundation upon which all personal growth is built. It allows you to make conscious choices about your thoughts, feelings, and actions, rather than being at the mercy of unconscious patterns. You've learned to recognize and mitigate cognitive biases, those mental shortcuts that can lead us astray in our thinking and decision-making. This knowledge empowers you to make more rational, balanced judgments in all areas of your life. Whether you're making important personal decisions, evaluating information in your professional life, or engaging in public discourse, you now have the tools to cut through cognitive distortions and see situations more clearly. The skills you've developed in seeking feedback and challenging assumptions have equipped you to engage more deeply and authentically with others. You're now able to view criticism not as a threat, but as valuable information that can fuel your growth. Your ability to question your own assumptions and those of others allows you to approach problems with greater creativity and flexibility. This open-mindedness, combined with critical thinking, positions you to be a more effective leader, collaborator, and innovator in whatever field you choose to pursue. Through the development of your reflective practice, you've cultivated a powerful habit that will continue to yield benefits throughout your life. This regular practice of introspection and analysis ensures that your growth doesn't stagnate, but continues to accelerate over time. Each experience becomes an opportunity for learning and improvement, allowing you to continuously refine your understanding of yourself and the world. But perhaps the most profound transformation lies in how these skills and practices come together to reshape your relationship with your own mind. You've moved from being a passive recipient of your thoughts and emotions to becoming an active, discerning curator of your mental landscape. This shift fundamentally alters your experience of life, providing a sense of agency and intentionality that many never achieve. As you continue to apply and refine these skills, you'll likely notice improvements in various areas of your life. 1. Decision-making. Your decisions will become more thoughtful, balanced, and aligned with your true values and goals. You'll be less swayed by impulsive emotions or unconscious biases, and more guided by careful consideration and clear-headed analysis. 2. Emotional intelligence. Your increased self-awareness and ability to reflect on your emotions will enhance your emotional intelligence. You'll be better able to manage your own emotions and understand those of others, leading to improved relationships both personal and professional. 3. Learning and growth. Your capacity for learning will be amplified. With your reflective practice and critical thinking skills, you'll extract more value from each experience, accelerating your personal and professional development. 4. Resilience. As you become more aware of your thought patterns and more skilled at challenging unhelpful assumptions, you'll develop greater emotional resilience. Setbacks and challenges will become opportunities for growth rather than sources of despair. 5. Creativity and innovation. Your ability to question assumptions and see things from multiple perspectives will fuel your creativity. You'll be able to generate more innovative solutions to problems and see opportunities where others see obstacles. 6. Leadership. The skills you've developed are invaluable for effective leadership. Your ability to think critically, seek and integrate diverse perspectives, and reflect deeply on complex issues will make you a more insightful and impactful leader. 7. Personal fulfillment. Perhaps most importantly, these skills will help you live a more intentional, meaningful life. You'll be better equipped to understand what truly matters to you and to align your actions with your deepest values and aspirations. As you stand at the end of this book, you might be wondering, what next? The beauty of the skills you've developed is that they provide a framework for continuous growth and improvement. There is no final destination in this journey, only an ever-expanding horizon of possibility. Continue to practice and refine these skills daily. Look for opportunities to apply critical thinking in all areas of your life. Maintain your reflective practice, using it as a compass to guide your personal evolution. Stay curious, always questioning, always learning. Remember that mastery is not about perfection, but about continuous improvement. There will be days when you fall back into old patterns of thinking, when biases cloud your judgment, or when you forget to reflect. This is not failure, but part of the process. Each setback is an opportunity to apply your skills, to learn, and to grow stronger. As you move forward, consider how you can share these skills with others. As you've discovered, critical thinking and self-awareness are transformative powers. By helping others develop these skills, you can create ripples of positive change that extend far beyond your own life. In conclusion, you've not just read a book, you've embarked on a journey of transformation. You've developed a set of skills that will serve you for a lifetime, continuously unfolding in their depth and application. You've learned to master your mind, to think with clarity and purpose, to understand yourself and others more deeply. But here's the truly exciting part. This is just the beginning. The skills you've developed are not static tools, but dynamic capacities that will continue to evolve and expand as you use them. Each time you practice mindfulness, each time you question an assumption, each time you reflect on your experiences, you're not just applying a skill, you're actively reshaping your brain, creating new neural pathways that make critical thinking and self-awareness more natural and effortless. Over time, you'll find that these practices become more than just skills, they become a way of being. Critical thinking will no longer be something you do, but a fundamental part of how you engage with the world. Self-awareness will be as natural as breathing. Reflection will be woven into the fabric of your daily life. As this transformation takes hold, you'll experience a profound shift in your experience of life. You'll move from feeling buffeted by circumstances to feeling empowered to shape your reality. You'll transition from reacting to life to creating your life intentionally. You'll evolve from being a passenger in your own mind to becoming the master of your thoughts and architect of your destiny. This mastery over your own mind is the ultimate form of freedom. It liberates you from the constraints of unconscious patterns, societal conditioning, and limiting beliefs. It empowers you to define success on your own terms and to chart a course towards your highest aspirations. Moreover, as you continue to refine these skills, you'll develop a level of mental clarity and insight that will set you apart in any field you choose to pursue. In a world that's increasingly complex and rapidly changing, the ability to think critically, to adapt quickly, and to continuously learn and grow is invaluable. You're not just prepared for the future, you're equipped to shape it. But perhaps the most profound payoff of this journey is the deep sense of alignment and purpose it fosters. As you become more aware of your thoughts, more intentional in your actions, and more reflective in your approach to life, you'll find yourself naturally gravitating towards what truly matters to you. You'll make choices that resonate with your deepest values, pursue goals that truly inspire you, and live each day with a sense of meaning and purpose. This is the true power of critical thinking mastery, not just to think better, but to live better. To create a life that's not just successful by external measures, but deeply fulfilling on a personal level. To not just understand yourself, but to continually evolve into the best version of yourself. As you close this book, know that you carry within you the seeds of extraordinary potential. You have the tools to continually expand your understanding, to consistently make wise choices, to persistently grow and evolve. You have the power to shape your thoughts, and through them, to shape your reality. This is your journey now. Embrace it with courage, curiosity, and commitment. Trust in the skills you've developed and in your capacity to continue growing. Remember that every challenge is an opportunity to apply these skills, every setback a chance to deepen your understanding. You stand at the threshold of a life lived with greater awareness, purpose, and impact. A life where you're not just swept along by the currents of circumstance, but actively steering towards your chosen destination. A life rich with insight, growth, and meaning. This is the promise of critical thinking mastery, not just to understand your thought patterns, but to harness the full power of your mind to create the life you truly desire. The journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step, and you've already taken many. Keep walking this path, and there's no limit to how far you can go. Your adventure in critical thinking and personal growth doesn't end here. It's only just beginning. Embrace it, enjoy it, and may it lead you to heights of understanding, achievement, and fulfillment beyond anything you've previously imagined. The power is in your hands. The time is now. Your extraordinary life awaits. As you step forward into this new chapter of your life, armed with the tools of critical thinking and self-awareness, You may find yourself wondering how to truly leverage these skills to their fullest potential. How can you apply this newfound mastery to not just understand your thought patterns, but to actively shape your reality and achieve unprecedented success in every area of your life? The answer lies in combining the insights you've gained from this book with a comprehensive strategy for personal and professional victory. To truly unlock the transformative power of critical thinking, to turn your enhanced self-awareness into tangible results, you need to master the art of strategic thinking and execution. This is where your journey takes an exciting new turn, opening doors to possibilities you might never have imagined. To take your growth to the next level and truly win at everything you do, I invite you to explore the audiobook, How to Win at Everything You Do. This powerful guide will show you how to channel your critical thinking skills into a strategic mindset, empowering you to not just navigate life's challenges, but to conquer them with confidence and grace. It's the perfect companion to the skills you've developed, providing the roadmap to turn your insights into action and your potential into reality. Tap the center of the video now to continue your transformation journey.